Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. Jones breaking from the contact. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles, gain some additional yardage.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. A good pickup there, 26 yards. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without...
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Nick Bosa, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. It's caught here by Adams. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. From 17 yards out. And the Packers take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Crosby with the extra point. Well, that's how they envisioned it. Get the football to start the game and score.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. 49ers offense coming out here led by the 28-year-old quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo, who turned 28 last month, and this is his first year as an every-week starter. You remember last season, all the hope, all the expectation, lost in week 3 to injury. But this year, I think he and the rest of this team, they've broken everyone's expectations, double-digit victories. And Jimmy Garoppolo's had a strong run game to rely on, but he's had some good performances himself, maybe most notably Week 14 out-dueling Drew Brees with a 4-touchdown performance and a big win at New Orleans. They'll get 3 out of the dump-off there, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. And a peek at the defense for the Packers.
Mike Daniels continues to get better and better with each year. A nice run stopper inside.
Looking to throw. Garoppolo into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive...
Down the numbers. There he goes. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones, 34 yards. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. They've got to be thrilled on the road right now. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, and quickly trying to make it 14-0.
Yeah, and mentioned it already. On the road, to be able to go into someone else's house and establish a start like that, obviously your confidence rises in a big way, and you're putting some doubt in their minds.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. San Francisco coming back out here, CD. This is a franchise that this year will end a 5-year playoff drought. That's the good news. Great record, but it could have been even better, really. You think about some of the heartbreaking losses. Overtime to Seattle, a field goal at the horn by Justin Tucker and the Ravens, and then that real shocker against Atlanta Week 15, Julio Jones, the touchdown, no touchdown right there at the goal line.
And that's the one that we shouldn't have been as surprised, only for this reason. They were so injured, so beat up, so many starters not playing in that game. And they took Atlanta to the limit, although I guess we would say Atlanta took them to the limit and found a way to win. But I do think that this 49ers team, with health in the playoffs, as dangerous as any team in the NFC.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Garoppolo completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 34-yard line. Garoppolo now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Play fake there to Coleman. Now Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Zadarius Smith, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Garoppolo looks to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. He was looking that time for Dante Pettis, and it's 3rd down. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Watch left, watch left, watch left. He's tight right there, he's tight right there. Four down.
Play action. Garoppolo. Open man is Kendrick Bourne. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. And it may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. Looking deep for Adams. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively.
Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
And that's another route that defenders would vote to take out of the game.
The wheel route?
Oh, without a doubt. You're just trying to move everybody in one direction. And whether it's a running back or another receiver, as they zip out on the sideline, you've got a problem on your hands.
Yeah, well, the defenders hate it there. It happened, and it resulted in a touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3. I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. 18 yards, first down Niners.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. To throw, it's Garoppolo. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. On second down, it's Coleman. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on third down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Here we go.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
He's got his man. It's Kendrick Bourne. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 23. Garoppolo now, 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. This is Coleman with a grab. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Open man is Bourne. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before half. And across the goal line into the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the 49ers get a score closer.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays. And Tevin Coleman polished it off with a touchdown run. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Jamal Williams making his way back onto the field. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. From the 30 on second down, Rodgers. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Rodgers, 3 first-half touchdown passes. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive, and it seemed like they may be giving up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. Yeah, this is going to put him back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete. CD, with that incompletion, let's talk AFC playoff picture. I think you and I agree that if you put together any sort of power rankings, we'd put Baltimore #1, certainly in the AFC. But you look ahead to the playoffs getting started on January 4th. Who do you see as their main competitor for that Lamar Hunt trophy?
Well, tradition and us not wanting to be wrong dictates that we say New England next, and rightly so because of the number of Lombardi trophies they've won, how they've always played at this time of year. But the bottom line to me is the prime contenders right now for Baltimore, Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes has got it together and the defense is playing better. And Buffalo really showed me something when they beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh on a Sunday night in Week 15. And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense, trotting back out. He's toppled the century mark already, receiving the football, closing in on that on the ground, too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this game, his success through the air has started to open things up for him on the ground because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another receiver can get downfield on them, and he's been that receiver. Now they bring him back to the backfield. I think his yardage running the ball will increase as this one goes on.
Well, they might need to devote some extra attention to him, something just to stop the momentum he has. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Come on, fellas.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there, and if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And now running right through it. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. They'll go again to Jones. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. On third down, here's Jones. And they're able to corral him right around the 8, and that's short of the first down. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And that will extend their lead even further. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The 49ers offense making its way back out there. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Throwing on second down, Garoppolo.
You know they wanted, you know they expected. They needed him to be sharp coming out after the half. Unfortunately, he's missed his first 3 throws. I wonder if he got out late and missed his warm-up time.
The whole team did come out a little bit later than usual. I don't know, maybe there's something to that.
Must have been a heck of a halftime speech.
Yeah, maybe just trying to rally the troops back from this deficit. And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
This has kind of been the story all night long, hasn't it? An inability to really get much done on third downs, and it's costing them.
Davis now to return it. Fights him off. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense, trotting back out. Thus far, he's been quite the dual threat. Touchdown on the ground, another through the air. He's just so versatile, isn't he?
He is, and he's exactly what I think we're looking for in the NFL now out of the running back position. Guys who can do everything running it, but also act as receivers. And I don't just mean, the stopgap guys. I don't mean safety valve. I'm talking about big-time parts of it, whether they're going to split out, whether they're going to swing out of the backfield. Sometimes they act like a true wide receiver, and he's having that type of a game in this one.
It'll be interesting to see if he can keep it going both phases. Let's see. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's Rodgers, and Lewis has it, the tight end. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now Rodgers steps away, and he finds his tight end, Graham. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era when we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
That's going to be caught. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. 4 touchdown passes now for Aaron Rodgers. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field in this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
So a decent game, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Garoppolo. He'll find Taylor. That's complete. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Here we go.
Brings up second down at the 30.
To throw again on second down. Garoppolo. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
They'll run with Coleman on first down. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Tevin Coleman, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the 49ers make some inroads here on that deficit. He's doing his part, but still facing a sizable deficit.
And he would like to do more, but he needs help from the other 2/3, right? He needs his defense to bow up a little bit, and he also needs special teams to maybe create some big plays and help them get back in it.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this one's going to be covered up by the Packers hands team. Oh, for a second there, I had flashbacks to a few years ago, the NFC Championship game for the Packers, but here they're able to hold on.
And many things changed in Green Bay after that game. Personnel, people coaching, the whole deal. And in this case, they get it done. No fail like they had in Seattle.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Oh, trying to get that to Adams, but that's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman, and they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. Over the middle to Kittle, complete. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Here's a 4-receiver look now. 3 of those guys out to the right side on 2nd and 8. Here's Garoppolo to throw. Man open, it's Goodwin. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 15 for the Niners there and a first down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Garoppolo's pass complete to Jerick McKinnon.
Here we go.
Partner, they're less than 2 minutes ago in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellas in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. Garoppolo finding his tight end, Kittle. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 36. Throwing now is Garoppolo.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
Now they got to get to the line quickly. Throwing again on 2nd down. Garoppolo. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 21. To throw is Garoppolo. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
Here we go.
Check.
Garoppolo again. Toward the pylon, caught. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the 49ers get a score closer.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
And this is recovered by the Packers, so that might just about do it. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. And now the Niners going to signal for their third and final timeout as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And this one boiled down in the end, Charles, to simply too much Aaron Rodgers.
We've seen this many times before, haven't we? And I'm sure we'll